Well, same as it has always been. You know, the prison system is a business. It's a manufacturing company, you know.
My name is Joseph Bondi and I am a federal criminal defense attorney. I'm standing here right now outside of the United States Second Circuit Court of Appeals downtown in Manhattan, about to be present for our federal cannabis lawsuit. I'm one of the lawyers that sued Jeff Sessions and the United States government, the DEA, and the Department of Justice last year to try to argue that our federal marijuana laws are unconstitutional. One of the reasons is because they violate the Equal Protection Clause and result in many people serving very long sentences in jail that they would otherwise not have to serve. Today in the United States of America, we have almost 2 million people who are languishing in prison of some sort. People who have been taken from their families, taken from their communities, oftentimes denied a reasonable bail, oftentimes denied a speedy trial or the right to reasonable criminal discovery. And as a result of that, we have become a penal archipelago. Mass incarceration has become the norm, unfortunately, and jail is a place that many of us never go to, never think of, don't reflect upon, where people spend their lives quite literally languishing, not entering their communities, not working, not being gainfully employed, not fathering or mothering, and certainly not rehabilitating themselves. In the United States of America today, what we need is prison reform. What we need is fair bail. What we need is trials and an opportunity for people to be heard fairly, rather than just being shoved off into prison for a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 or 10 or even 20 years. And so our hope today is that we can make some history, change the world, and help some people, one by one, reintegrating into their communities, being saved quite literally. That's what we're here to do, and that's what we all need to do as Americans.
Hello, this is Cheryl Powell. I'm an agricultural and cannabis attorney. I'm based in the state of Florida, barred in the state of Florida. I also consult all over the country, in fact internationally, with regards to medical marijuana. This is the beautiful Florida state capital. Take it all in. This is where laws are made in Florida. This is where the legislature meets. They're actually in session, so I'm here to do lobbying and talk to some of the politicians explaining our cause. So I am General Counsel of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. It's an amazing organization that focuses on making sure there's diversity in the cannabis industry, definitely decriminalization, and making sure that people are not wrongly incarcerated for a plant. And also pipelining, so we can make sure the next generation can continue our work after we're done. We're in a crisis, basically, and it's been going on for a long time. There are books like The New Jim Crow, the movie 13th, where we talk about how prison is the new slavery. Unfortunately, people of color are the vast majority of people who are wrongly incarcerated and stay incarcerated to this day. So with the people of color in prison, the disparate sentencing that's happening, so 2 people commit the same crime, one's white, one's black, the black person gets a longer sentence. All of those things are really wrong, and that's why we fight, that's why we lobby, and especially with regards to medical marijuana or marijuana access for patients. A marijuana charge is often the gateway to the prison system. So we want to eliminate that issue. We want to return people to their families. We want to give them an opportunity to contribute and be good citizens.
Nishita Dobson, and I'm the weed head. I am a global cannabis legalization advocate and a cannabis business consultant. Although I entered the industry as a patient, I think one of the biggest things that my interest into the industry has illuminated is the mass incarceration of people as a result of marijuana prohibition, largely people of color. In truth, it's been very alarming, and it's not something that I'm necessarily new to, but I think when I started to look at the statistics, I was shocked. First of all, for America to be the land of the free, we actually got a lot of people who aren't free, and they aren't free not only during their time of being incarcerated, but some of the laws afterwards, unable to vote, don't have the same access, really lives ruined. What's even more surprising was that nearly half of incarcerations is due to marijuana prohibition. And when you look at that number even closer, it's just disgusting that so many people of color have been disproportionately arrested, leveraging the prohibition of marijuana. So a lot of my work really now surrounds one, legalization, which prevents further incarceration, but two, expungement of records for people who were previously incarcerated, and hopefully fighting for the right to be in the industry, which, because up to now they've pretty much been shut out. As a whole, I'm just disappointed that our country has so many people locked up, and we've decided to make money off of it and profit. Private prison as an industry or a business is just very lucrative, and it seems to be that, slowly the tide is shifting. But when I learned about that, I think I was probably in college the first time I learned that there were really private prisons, and I was just like, what? So we have prisons that need quotas to be met, which means they need to be filled, and it looks as if for all this time the country by and large has been using marijuana to fill that. It's just disappointing, and it doesn't make me proud to be an American, certainly. And I think overall we can rectify a lot of this by, one, ending prohibition of marijuana right away, but two, looking at those low level petty crimes that really related to marijuana and helping to change the lives of those individuals, either expungement, release from prison, and programs that help them really become reacclimated back into society the right way. Many of those people have been people of color. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and just to watch what happens to an individual after one day, maybe 2 days in Rikers, tells me that one, it's a place that I never want to be, and extremely fearful to go there, but also to fear for my son and fear for any of the just silly reasons why people get incarcerated, particularly black men. I find that we're targeted as a whole, and once you're put in a system, even if you weren't a criminal before, I think the way that prisons are typically run, you are essentially creating criminals within that system.
Products are made there. You're talking about prisoners representing cheap labor, because that's exactly what they represent. As far as prison time limits given out, well, of course there's an injustice in America. It's a system for white or Caucasian, whichever you prefer, and there's a different system for blacks and Latinos. That disproportionate number, you have to qualify to go to jail. And that's one thing I never wanted to do, was give up my freedom for any reason. There are injustices in America, but that's the way it is. That's a part of life. I really have to sum it up to say that. Those that do not have to experience anything like that, God bless them.